All right, Alex, I'm going to walk you through. Okay, you will have this coordinator sheet on your clipboard in the office when you arrive to do coordinator duties. But I want to walk you through this so you can kind of see it before you experience it on Sunday. So you'll see when you first come in the office, trying to figure out which way my finger, there we go. On this wooden shelf, this is the downstairs teacher bin. You have a coordinator bin that will have your clipboard that has this. And the first page that you're always going to see is the servant team members that will be serving with you. The coordinator checklist is what you're going to use when you arrive to kind of get things going for the morning. The first thing that you're going to do when you get here is you want to pull out the tablets out of the side door closet. So I'm going to put a picture of that up. The tablets are all plugged into a power source in that side door closet. It's kind of where like all the vacuums and stuff used to be. You're going to pull those out of the closet and set them up on the blue painter's tape marks in the hallway. So basically you want to turn these tablets on, and you always want to make sure you turn on both the tablet and the printer when you're getting ready to set those up. You will get here at 9 o'clock. So it gives you about 15 minutes before all the other servant team members will arrive. And you're going to do the tablets first. And then you're going to go in the downstairs and turn on all the walkie-talkies. Then you're going to go in the upstairs, and take all the chairs off of the tables. The cleaning staff is here on Friday. They put the chairs up on the tables. The team members for the upstairs know where their walkie-talkies are. They're in a cabinet in the hallway, and they will turn those on and get their clipboards when they get there. So when you get here at 9, you're going to do the tablets, and then you're going to do the walkie-talkies and take the chairs down upstairs. The reason that you have that grid sheet that has all the people that are serving is because the servant team members will arrive between 9:15 and 9:30. So you're going to be downstairs, standing by the tablet stations and checking in all the people that arrive to serve. If you're not sure what someone's name is, make sure you ask them. If they go to the tablet station to print a name tag, they're there to serve. What this is going to allow you to do is if you get to 9:30 and someone is not there and they have not texted you to tell you that they're going to be late, you can pull either the upstairs teacher or the downstairs teacher and put them in that classroom until the person arrives. We want to make sure that everyone is there by 9:30, or there's at least 2 adults in every room so that the kids can start being dropped off at 9:45. At 9:30, after you place one of the teachers, if someone's not there, you're going to text that person. Their phone number is on the grid sheet with their name so that you can text them and see if they're late, if they need, if something's going on. And that way at 9:45, when check-in starts, we'll be ready to go. Either Sarah or I will always be with you during check-in. This is mainly, you are there to help the families, the existing families with the tablets and making sure that check-in goes well. Sarah and I will be there to help mainly with the visitors. So if a new family comes, me and her are going to man the visitor tablet. There's a third tablet now that's a visitor tablet where we can check people in. And that's what her and I will be in charge of so that you can focus on the families that are there and making sure that the morning gets going smoothly. When check-in stops, usually at 10:15, we give people a grace period because people always arrive a little bit late. But basically, if someone arrives, especially, okay, so if they arrive and their classroom is full, this sometimes happens like at the end of check-in or at the big, or, right after church has started, people that arrive late, the class might be full. And what's going to happen is the tablet will say event full, or it just won't show them an event for that child, even though they're normally able to check into a class. For nursery, you can kind of talk to the parent and see if they're, a little bit younger in their age group. They could always check in the class younger if there's a spot open, or they could check into the older class if there's a spot open. So if you have an older 2-year-old and there's a spot in the 3s, we could check them into the 3s for that morning. If there's a younger 2-year-old, we can check the 1-year-old nursery. And you'll be able to tell from the tablet, because if you go into the manned mode, and I'll show you how to do that on Sunday, it'll give you the list of all the classrooms and if they're full or not once you go into that person's profile. So you will be able to see if there's other rooms open, and you can place them in another room. Obviously in the 4 to 6, you can go into manned mode and go into that person's profile, and you can place them in a different 4 to 6 class than they're normally in for that Sunday if their class is full. Children's church is a little more tricky because we really just have capacity for those 20 kids that are there. So if children's church is full, they can use the sermon bags, and they're welcome to be in the sanctuary with us for that day. I anticipate this might happen, especially at the beginning. I feel like at the beginning of school, everyone is back in town. Everyone wants to check into class. We are working very diligently. You can tell them, Children's Church, we're trying to grow that team, but we want to keep it a learning environment while also allowing kids to check in. It's a balance, but we're working on it. So if the class is full, I'm really sorry. The class is full. They can text me if they have any questions or concerns. Or honestly, if a class is full, I would like you or the parent to text me just so that I know that person wasn't able to check in that week. I've been wanting to really check in with those families and really talk to them about if there's anything we can do to help with that. Anyway, at 10:15 is usually around the time when we will print the rosters and put the tablets back in the closet. So what you'll do is you will go to an icon on the home screen of the tablet. You'll kind of exit out of the check-in app, and you'll go to this one icon, and I'm going to show you how to do this, but the coordinator checklist walks you through how to print rosters that morning. Once you print all the rosters, you will put all the tablets in the closet that you got them out of. And you can, at this point, you can plug them into the power source, or you can just wait till the end of church. Depends on how confident you feel you'll remember. And I always check that on Monday, so it's not the end of the world if you forget that step. You will go grab the rosters off of the printer downstairs, and you will distribute them up to the rooms. Now, my suggestion is to go upstairs first, give them to the 4 to 6-year-old facilitators. Those classes will be in lesson and worship, so they'll all be together. You can hand them to the facilitator and remind them to check to make sure everyone on the roster that's checked in with them is on the roster. So if someone's there that's not on the roster, they need to be written in. If someone's not in the class and they're on the roster, they need to be crossed off. Everyone else, the little checkbox, they need to be checked in. And then you will go down to the nursery rooms. And I usually go to the nursery rooms at this point and just check in with the teachers. I go ahead and check in their rosters and put it on the clipboard on the half of their door. And you'll see there's clipboards sitting on the open half of the door that say rosters. But it's an opportunity to kind of check in with them, because the next thing you're going to do is go upstairs to the 4 to 6 hallway. So 4 to 6 will let out of the lesson and worship room around 10:25, and they will go straight back to the room that they checked in. And they will do snack and story. So they're all going to do snack and story at the exact same time. And this is where at 10:35, you need to go room to room and let them know that it's time to start rotations. So they will have all, hopefully, they will have all waited for that cue to get started. So they don't have a lot of downtime in their rooms. You are basically the keeper of time. So we tell the teachers we want you, or the facilitator, in the classrooms, we want you to be engaged with the kids. The coordinator will come tell you when it's time for the next step. So 10:35, you're going to alert them to start to start their activity in that room. And then at 10:50 is when you're going to go and give a 2-minute warning to each class. I start with the craft room, and I give the craft room, the game room, and the catechism room. I give them their 2-minute warning. Like, we are about to rotate. Go ahead and start cleaning up your supplies. And when I come back, we will rotate rooms. This gives them the cue, but it also lets them know, like, you're going to direct and keep them going in rotations. And so after you've made it around to all the classes, you start with the craft room and you send them down to the bathroom. And then you get the game room and you put them in the craft room. And then you get the catechism and move them to the game room. So only one class is in the hallway at a time. And we always start with the craft room because then you're always sending someone to an empty room. So craft will go downstairs to the bathroom. No one will be down there. So they're going down there to an empty space. Game room will go in the craft room because they're now going into an empty room. It prevents any like running into of teams. And then again, same thing, second rotation at 11:05. You give them a 2-minute warning. And then you go back to the room. As soon as you get around to the 2-minute warning, you go back to the craft room, send them to the bathroom. Go to the game room, send the craft room, catechism goes to game room. So only one class is in a hallway at a time, and you're always just facilitating one class moving at a time. Obviously, they will be in those rooms now and when checkout starts. And checkout really should start around 11:30. That's a tricky timing. Sometimes they don't maybe miss doing a lot of the last room. Maybe they don't get to actually do their catechism. And this is mainly just because church has been letting out at different times. So I don't anticipate this week we'll be letting out early because it's Promotion Sunday. We've got a ceremony. I think it'll let out on time. So hopefully that is helpful. This video you can also watch, if you need refreshers. If you're not sure how something's going to go, you can pull up this video to watch, and hopefully the visuals and the information can help.